Hi, Steve Addison here for the Movements Podcast, the podcast for people who want to multiply disciples and churches everywhere. Well, God spoke to Austin Martin and told him to start a Bible study in his gym. So we're going to talk to Austin about what happened next.
It all started while I was on a mission trip in Asia. I was there for about 3 months, and in that final month, the Lord truly captivated me, and I was just activated by his love. And from there, just coming back to the States and starting gym ministry. So that's how it all started. It all started in Asia.
And that was a Muslim country. And you saw someone come to know Christ.
Yeah, that guy, he was actually baptized on Ramadan, Night of Power. And his whole friend group was there, and they were just like, what is going on? They started clapping. We just saw the Lord move throughout that whole 3 months. And then, man, as right before I was coming back to the States, I was just captivated and then activated, right? And she came back and started doing ministry over here locally. So coming back to the U.S., the Lord had just confirmed me doing mission work in Kyrgyzstan. And I was just asking the Lord, Lord, what's my purpose? I've been searching and seeking out purpose. And what do you want me to do with my life? Because I know what I want to do, but what do you want me to do? And then from there, that's where the Lord confirmed doing mission work. And I said, Lord, if this is something that you want me to do with my life, Lord, may I just fall in love with it. So here we are 3 years later, and I got back to the States, and I remember I was like, okay, Lord, you just told me what you want me to do in my calling, but where do I start, right? And from there, that's where I felt the Lord tell me, start a Bible study at your gym. And I was like, start a Bible study at my gym. And I asked again, I was like, Lord, what do you want me to do? And it's start a Bible study at your gym. So then from there, just begin bringing the love and the light of Jesus into just this dark community, right? There's a lot of just darkness and people just going to the gym for the wrong reasons, and just having the Lord just be the light and just sharing that love with others. And that's how it's been recently, just doing a lot of gym ministry and just seeing the youth in the gym become captivated and activated by the love of Jesus. I remember right before I started going to the gym, right, the Lord had just confirmed man, pursue the gym, right? Pursue the youth at the gym. I just had this heaviness in my heart to share with the youth. So I started prayer walking around the gym every day. And then as I was prayer walking, I remember being in the locker room, and I had literally just gotten my bag stolen a week prior, and the gym gave me a free lock that I didn't know how to use. So while I was in the gym, I was like, man, how do I use this lock? So I'm just kind of there, and then I see this guy walk into the gym, and I go, hey bro, I don't know how to use this. Do you know how to use this? He's like, yeah, I do. So he's like, let me see it. So he teaches me how to use the lock. And then from there, I end up sharing the gospel with this guy. And then this guy gives his life to Jesus and then invites me out of the locker room to go work out with him and his entire friend group. So then from there, I just see, man, just breakthrough right there, already being involved with the gym community, all the youth that's at the gym. And from there, just seeing a community build on the foundation of the love of Jesus. And just little by little, we saw not only him give his life to Jesus, but then his entire friend group gave their lives to Jesus. And then one day I was like, hey, do you guys want to maybe meet up at McDonald's down the street and learn about Jesus, do church together? And then they're like, yeah. So then from there, we went from the gym every Wednesday to McDonald's, right? So we'd go to McDonald's, we'd share a meal, we'd get in the Word, we'd have church. And then it got to the point where even the manager was like, I love what you guys are doing. I'll give you guys some free McChicken. So we're like, this is the spot. So we were just there meeting up weekly, and little by little, we saw a group of 7 guys begin reaching their friend groups. And then that group of 7 guys quickly turned into almost 40 people packed up in that McDonald's. So the manager came up to us and was like, man, there's too much of you guys now. You guys are going to have to find another spot. So we ended up, I was just like praying. I was like, Lord, like, where can we go now? And right outside of the gym, there's like a pathway. And in that pathway, there's 2 benches and then just concrete. So I was like, guys, what if we just did church outside? There's benches right there. So they're like, okay, cool, let's do it. So from there, we started meeting up literally outside on benches, and we were just doing church outside. We'd see like just random people walking by the church, and they'd be like, man, I don't know what I'm feeling, but like this is different. Can I sit and sit with you guys? So then they'd sit, and the next thing you know, we see people being captivated by the love of Jesus and then activated to then go from there and invite their friends to experience what the Lord is doing literally right outside of the gym on these 2 benches. So yeah, that's how it all started. That's how Holy Lifters Church started, and then what we've seen come from that has been beautiful.
What's the name of the church?
Holy Lifters Church.
Holy Lifters.
Yeah. It's all like gym related. Like church
Have you
names.
got a
Pretty
story? Cool. Have you got a story of someone who's come to know the Lord and gone on to discipleship?
So there is this guy, his name's Jack, and I actually met him at Wawa's, which is like a gas station here in Florida where like everybody hangs out because there's not too much to do. So I was sitting there getting my word, and I remember one day he's walking by with like his group of friends, and he sees me reading the word, and he goes, "Are you reading the Bible right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I'm reading the word." So he's like, "Man, I've been hearing like a lot about Jesus, so like I want to actually know like who Jesus is." So he sits down at the table, and we just start talking about Jesus for 30 minutes. Next thing you know, he ends up giving his life to Jesus. The next day, he pulls up to Holy Lifters, right? And then he gets baptized right after that day. So in 2 days, he gets baptized. And then from there, he starts sharing the gospel in his school, sharing the gospel in the gym. He made a friend named Darwin, who he began discipling almost right away. Like, hey, let's learn how to do this together. And then they started sharing together as well. So yeah, that's just one example of like how the Lord was moving through Jack. It is mostly guys, but in the midst of that, some of the guys got some girlfriends, so they're welcome too. So they'll come in, and then they'll be activated and captivated by the love of Jesus. And then they also have a girls' church now, Bible study called Girlies for God, where all the girls will gather the day after the guys, and they'll come together and like sharpen each other. It's a really cool community.
So take us to those benches. What does it look like when you do church together?
So doing church together, man, it's just like, wow. Just starting off with care, seeing how we're doing. Right? Like highs and lows, seeing how everybody's doing, sharpening each other, praying over each other, right? Testimonies, right? Sharing like how the Lord's been moving in and through our lives. And then from there, man, we dive into the book of life. You know, we get in the word, and we learn together. And then we learn not only just to learn, but to also pour it out onto others too. And then from there, yeah, we'll be like, man, what does it say about God? What does it say about people? What can we obey and apply? And then I'll just share like the need, right? Of like, man, we need to go out into this broken world and share the love of Jesus with these people that may never hear or see the love of Jesus, right? So then we'll go there and then set goals. Like, okay, who are we sharing with this week? Let's go out and make his love known. So then from there, we'll pray out. And then we have this thing where we'll all like gather in a circle, and we'll put our hands in the middle. We'll be like, Jesus on 3, Jesus on 3, 1, 2, 3, Jesus. So really cool, like what the Lord's been doing in and through that group. It's been cool.
Typically, what would be a number of people that normally show up for church?
As of recently, there's been a faithful group of people that have been, it's usually 10 to 15 people that will come and gather and learn and then go and spread it out onto others. And now it's gotten more to the point where there may not be as much people, but it's because a lot of the people have gone out and planted their own churches, which is really cool. Right now, there's about seven churches that have been started. Right now, a lot of them are over here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. But recently, Jack actually moved to Orlando, and now he's going to be starting a church over there in Orlando too, through doing gym ministry as well. So it's been really cool.
So how has your role changed as this has developed?
In the midst of just like the seasons changing, right? It's been a lot of like, at first it was like a lot of just evangelize, go and share the love of Jesus with any and everybody. But now it's been really just like being slow, right? Taking time with my disciples, caring for them, mentoring them, casting vision. So that's been a huge part of this season, especially now seeing them start their own churches and discipling like their disciples. But also in the midst of that, I take the second portion of my day. So I'll go out to the gym. I go to a new gym now called EOS Fitness. And man, that gym, it's a really dark and broken place. I remember when I first walked into that gym, I just started crying because of the heaviness that was in that gym. And man, I walked in and I was like, man, the Lord's going to shift the atmosphere. He's going to do something different here, right? And so I've been doing gym ministry now at EOS Fitness. And from EOS Fitness, I go there from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then after that, I'll go to Wawa's again. And I'll be there from 10 to sometimes 3 a.m. Because I'll be there just sitting there getting in the word. And people will just be walking by and going like, hey, what are you reading? So then from there, I'll be like, hey, join me. Let's read together. So then sometimes that'll be one person. Sometimes it'll be 5 people that I don't even know that'll be like, what are you reading? And then they'll just sit at the table. Next thing you know, we're having church together.
Are there leaders of those 7 churches?
Yes. So with them, it's a lot of just intentional, like gathering throughout the week and continuing to equip them, right? Equip them, accountability, right? Because not only just accountability in the work, but also accountability like in our personal walks. Like, are we abiding, right? Are we, flowing from the source? Because without the Lord, we're nothing, right? So a lot of accountability, a lot of just encouraging and nurturing and equipping with new tools. And yeah, in this season, that's what it's looked like. A lot of the times I'll even go to their church and just sit and like encourage. And then afterwards they'll be like, what can we do better? And then from there, we'll just see what the Lord can do, how we can keep bringing him more and more glory.
Yes. What are you learning in all of this?
I'm learning the importance of abiding and prayer. Right. I feel like I'm always learning like how deep and how wide that love is and how much we can do more, right? Like we can abide more, we can pray more, right? It's been huge because, man, before it was like in my life, it was a lot of just like working and going for it. But then now it's been like, man, I just need to abide and the Lord's going to nourish me and restore me, that I'll be able to keep on doing this all for his glory, right? So in this season, it's truly been just praying while prayer walking, praying for my disciples, praying for the people that aren't reached in the gym, that the Lord will captivate and activate them, that he'll soften their hearts, praying for the person of peace. So my life has just been a praying recently. And asking the Lord, like, Lord, what's the next step?
Well, what's the vision that God's given you? What are you trusting him for now?
Wow. Well, wow. Just right now, it's been just praying to see church at every corner, right? Like, I want to be driving and be like, oh, no way. People are gathering in the corner right there. They're having church. Just seeing this multiply to the ends of the earth, go from Florida to Georgia, Texas, like just seeing everywhere impacted. I want to see the gym community reached with the love of Jesus, that they won't go there and be in just like this dark, broken place, but that they'll go there looking for purpose, and that there'll be somebody there with the love of Jesus to show them like, man, this is purpose. This is the identity you're looking for. So yeah, my vision is just make disciples that make disciples and plant churches that plant churches until there's no place left without hearing about the Lord of Jesus.
God, I think we got it.
Oh man, that's awesome, bro.